Welcome to School Matters. I'm Joni Kopis, and with me today is Mr. Lauren Sprague, our Fine Arts Director for the Hamilton City School District. So we want to welcome you today, Lauren.
Thank you, Joni.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We wanted to talk today about our strong fine arts offerings. Sure. I guess the first question is, what is the arts? Explain that a little bit.
Well, the arts definitely would be music, dance, drama, visual arts, and we could talk a lot about the benefits of the arts a lot of different ways. In fact, the Arts Education Partnership in America just came out a report just recently about preparing students for the next America. And the arts affect students in so many different positive ways that certainly feel very passionate about the arts in the Hamilton schools because it engages the whole student. So I'd like to just go through a few things on how the arts affect students, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Well, the first thing is the life skills that students learn through the arts, because there are so many things that we're looking forward to in the 21st century, that skills that students need, such as perseverance. You know, if you can't just play a musical piece, just walking in. You got to work at it. It's not an instant gratification. They really need to have perseverance. They have to learn cooperation and working with others. Think about the global community, how important that is. And creative problem solving. When you're in the arts, you learn how to do the creative problem solving, critical thinking skills, self-control. Think about if you're up on stage and you're trying to perform, you have to have self-control or things fall apart. Also learning self-confidence, being in front of people, showing what you can do, developing leadership skills, and also just personal responsibility, students taking the personal responsibility for what they perform.
Yeah, and you say those are good, life skills, but that also transcends over into education, the benefits of just a regular education.
Exactly, and study after study, we could go on. There's books written on this, so I don't want to take up a lot of time. But academic benefits also, multiple studies have shown how the arts have had a positive impact on language arts and math skills, just the basic skills and learning them through the arts. Also helps students focus on in the classroom, engages the students so they learn better, they get more excited about education. Also, we do a lot in Hamilton with arts integration, where they may learn other subject areas through the arts, math, science, social studies. All these lend themselves very well to being taught through the arts. And then also, the arts help build a very positive school environment. I don't know if you saw recently, NBC Nightly News had a short clip about what's working in America. And there was a school in Roxbury, Massachusetts, where they had been having trouble for many years, violence, dropouts, all these things in kindergarten through 8th grade. And the principal, they'd had 5 principals in 7 years. High turnover, half the teachers wouldn't come back. And the principal came in, got rid of their security force and hired arts teachers. Okay, music, art, drama, dance, hired them, brought them in, turned the school around. They showed the inside of the school. Kids are happy. It's a safe place for them, a great school culture, paintings on the wall, music through the hallways. And these kids are succeeding in a poor social economic area.
When you talk that they're happy, I mean, it is fun, and also studies show that they have better attendance.
Exactly. If they're fun and they know they're going to be engaged with the arts that day, and they take pride in what they're doing, and if all those things come together, of course they want to be at school. So that's another very important point you bring.
When you look at the top 20 students throughout the year at Hamilton High School, and most of them are in some type of the arts programs.
Exactly. I recently was at the induction for the Honor Society at Hamilton High School, and I started reading the names of the students that were involved, and at that point, 40% of the students had been in one of our music classes in the arts, but as I went through the names, I knew a lot more had been involved through the years in the music program. So it does lend itself to higher academic achievement in our schools.
Well, let's also talk about the quality of life. I mean, it's a creative outlet. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Obviously, like you said, it's a creative outlet for students. Students need that. They need to find a way to express themselves appropriately, and they do it through the arts. Also, they learn to appreciate the talents of other artists. If, you might see a piece of art, but if you don't know where the artist is from or the time period or things like that, it doesn't make as much sense to you. But then you come to realize how how much effort went into that, and then you come to appreciate the beauty of the art piece. Also, in music, understanding the complexities of a piece of music, of musical compositions. It's one thing to hear music, it's another thing to understand all the nuances that are involved in music. And then there's also the economic impact of the arts.
Right.
There was a recent study done by Bowling Green State University about the arts impact in Ohio. One of the things that came out of that is there are almost 200,000 people involved in creative arts in the state of Ohio. That brings in almost $8 billion of wages. An incredible amount. People don't think about that, but $8 billion are part of the wage system in Ohio.
Well, you talk about Ohio, but even our own city of Hamilton,
Exactly.
quality of life, they are very strong in arts.
Yes, and a few years ago, as you might remember, the Fenton Center for Creative Arts came along. The Hamilton, I think it was the Hamilton Community Foundation, or some of the leaders in the area, they could have created a park, they could have done a number of things with the money, but they decided to go with the Fenton Center, which is an incredible asset for our community. And then you also look at the, recently, the River's Edge Amphitheater has just opened. What a wonderful asset for our city too. I have to remember all the things I was talking about, but also the Journal News building has been renovated. It's has space for arts, for dance, drama. These things are very important to people. And then you look at Pyramid Hill and what Harry Wilkes has done with Pyramid Hill out there. Very
Draws
impressive.
from all over the country, all over the world.
National,
right.
Yeah. And then
Art Space.
Art Space is coming, and that's going to be a wonderful place for artists, visual artists, to live, work, and to show and sell their pieces of artwork downtown Hamilton. And also, we're the city of sculpture, and if you, and everywhere you go, you see the artwork. So I really appreciate the city of Hamilton putting money into bringing the arts alive for the people, because it does increase your quality of life.
Very much so. And let's talk about the facilities, because I know you and I talked about when we built the 8 new elementary schools, you know, a big thing. We spent several years planning the buildings, and I give our board credit because they wanted to hear from everybody, and they talked to the kindergarten teachers, they talked to the phys ed or gym teachers, but they also spent time talking to your fine arts staff on what do you need in your rooms.
Exactly. We as a fine arts staff looked at what we were doing in our schools, what we needed in rooms, and we visited other school districts. We weren't just going to say, let's just put a room here.
Right.
Just so they're beautiful spaces, including every elementary has an art gallery, and if you've ever been in the lobby area of the new schools, which I know you have, that's one of the first things you see when you walk in, our student artwork.
Showcase.
Great showcase of our student artwork. And every school has the same facility. It's not like one school gets something different than another. Every school has an art room that were specifically designed by the art teachers. I know this sounds funny, but they each have a dishwasher. It's a wonderful addition because to clean all the supplies they have. And then we have 2 music rooms and then a beautiful stage. Every building has a beautiful stage. So all those things came together to create a wonderful learning environment for students as they come down for the arts. And it shows how important the arts are.
Right, and that's at the elementary level. Let's talk about the secondary level, Garfield and Wilson.
Garfield and Wilson. Well, Garfield went through a major renovation. I've been a few years now, but we renovated the auditorium, all the music rooms, the art rooms, all those rooms.
Excuse me, you talk about the auditorium. Garfield used to be the high school, so it's got a just as large an auditorium as the high school. So we are, again, fortunate. We have 2 full-size auditoriums.
Exactly. And that's a wonderful asset for the community. We run concerts in both facilities. It's around 600 seats, I believe. But Garfield's auditorium is very user-friendly, so a lot of different people can use that.
Most of your elementaries, I think, use those programs because the high school is pretty busy on its own.
Exactly. High school is a very busy place. So we have, so those things have happened at Garfield. At Wilson, when we had the fire a few years ago, I forget the
1999?
year. 1999,
yes,
okay.
2 years ago.
It doesn't seem that long ago.
I know.
But we are so appreciative of the Crothers family stepping forward and building a fine arts wing onto Wilson, along with a beautiful media center. We sort of joke in the fine arts staff that it's nice that they build a school wing next to the fine arts.
That's true.
area.
That is a good point. Yes.
So we're very appreciative of that. And then, so those happen at the 2 middle schools. When we built the freshman school, same thing. We have beautiful art rooms put in, and a beautiful 2 beautiful music rooms are over there. And then at the high school, the Crothers again stepped up a few years ago. We created a scene shop behind the auditorium, which was badly needed storage space.
Right.
And then we just finished, well, then we built the Fine Arts Wing with a large band room.
And that was like in 2000, so it's, you know, your fine arts at the high school have gone through many phases of renovation.
Yeah. And then recently, the Hamilton High School auditorium has been completely changed. I won't say completely, but it doesn't look anything like we had before. Beautiful woodwork in the auditorium. And we updated the sound system, the lighting system, the stage system, the rigging. A lot of things have happened in there. We're very excited.
And you used it a lot. I mean, a lot of programs throughout the course of the year. So.
Just since the beginning of the school year, we've had the Cincinnati Symphony in. They came into our area, which was wonderful. Stan Kenton Orchestra came in.
Alumni band, right?
The alumni band came in. We recently held an event for the city, Heaven is for Real. And then all our concerts. So this past weekend we had Rhapsody in Blue Dinner Theater. It is and then musicals, I could go on and on, but obviously.
And again, in the summer you have some recitals and what have you there. So it is busy all the time.
It's busy all the time,
right.
yeah.
Let's talk, when you say comprehensive art programs, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, Hamilton City Schools has what I consider a comprehensive art program because at all stages of a student's career, they have the opportunity to be involved with the arts. Whether it's music starting in kindergarten through 12th grade, music in kindergarten, or art that starts in 1st grade through 12th grade. We offer a lot more than some districts. And I know that a lot of our school districts, let's just be honest, have cut programs. We have had our cuts too. We've cut staff, but we took some of the brunt of that. But we are still able to offer a comprehensive program.
Right. Some districts, as you said, cut it out completely.
Cut it.
We've reduced a little, trying to protect it because the board is very adamant about, again, educating the whole child and really believe in the arts as part of that.
Yeah. And that's wonderful to have a board that believes that because we have some wonderful programs going and they didn't want to see that cut. They thought that was important for our students. We know that a neighboring district, a student might get art once every 3 weeks or PE once every 3 weeks. And that is so against my philosophy of what education is about. And I hate to see those students go through something like that.
Elementary art, we talked about the art rooms themselves. Each new art room at the elementary has a kiln, so they can make lots of pottery. We have some here. All the elementary students, 5th or 6th grade students, created bowls for empty bowls, which again is a community thing for sort of the end of the Fill the Bus for shared harvest and open door pantry. So all the elementary schools created empty bowls, but they also participated like in Ice Fest or a Pumpkin Fest. Explain a little bit about that. Again, talking about the community.
Sure. The elementary program, that's one of the, when you walk into our elementary schools, that's one of the first things you see because that art room is right in the office area, the lobby area. Plus we have the murals, the mobiles on the ceiling and things like that. So it's just full of that energy of art. But at the elementary level, you're exactly right. We did the empty bowls. Also, we had students at older levels too. But the kids get into this. They're seeing their artwork out there. It's just wonderful for them. We've
How about Pumpkin Fest?
Pumpkin Fest.
That was new this year.
Oh yes, that was new. That was a very interesting thing. I think it was with the YMCA that we did the pumpkins. They donated. I cannot remember. I think it was close to 700 pumpkins. Could be. And we were expecting these pumpkins.
Nice little polite pumpkins.
Yeah. And no.
Full size.
I think it was 3rd or 4th grade painted. Every school, every 3rd or 4th grader, say it was 3rd grade, received a pumpkin to paint and then was on display at the square.
Right, all around,
at the courthouse.
Community, right.
Yeah. So kids loved it.
Right.
And it brought those kids downtown to see their pumpkins. So that was exciting, especially when the pumpkins showed up. Where we're going to put all these pumpkins.
That was, you're again expecting small little ones and they were full size.
So we liked it, but it was just a surprise. Yeah.
Another thing, our middle schools got involved with Ice Fest, soap carving.
From the very beginning, Ice Fest has involved us in that process, which is a wonderful downtown event for Hamilton. Again, that's art.
Right.
So ice carving is art, 3D sculpture. But what they've done is the soap carvings, they get bars of, I think it's ivory soap, which smells really good.
Right.
And they carve them up, and this year was
Wonders of the World or Landmarks of the World, something like that, right.
So you had little Eiffel Towers and pyramids and I didn't even think I saw the Sphinx a couple of times.
And
So,
those were displayed again.
displayed downtown in windows and stuff. So the students are involved in what's happening in the community. Also, there is Butler County Environmental Services have a recycling contest with recyclables that they do sculpture work. And I know a few of our teachers are very much into that, and students love it. So we have those type of things so that students go out, especially at the secondary level, and painting windows and things like that.
And then one neat thing this year for this summer, your Hamilton High School seniors are going to be displaying their artwork at Miami University's Art Museum.
I want to say it's May 24th to June 29th. That is a great honor for our students. We have a very active high school program, and so they're excited about that. We have a class at the high school called Portfolio that helps students create a lot of artwork so they can go on in college. So we have a number of students going on in college. I forgot to mention about facilities, though. Something that is totally unique about Hamilton High School is we have an art gallery.
Right.
And it's actually it was Mrs. Baker's idea, but it's an art gallery that is no little place. It's a fairly large facility. It's about half the size of a classroom, actually. Open in the hallway. For the first couple months, we kept the cage closed, but then we decided to open it. And students love it. I see students in there all the time, and they are very respectful for the artwork. So it's another way to bring vibrancy to the school. Also, we have an outdoor display
so you
area.
have the outdoor,
Yeah, we have a little courtyard with showing the benches. So our students are seeing artwork and they're living it. We have the sculptures, and again, the Crothers donated the George W. Bush in front. So they're seeing the sculpture and they're making these things too.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's switch gears from the visual arts to music. Let's talk about the elementary music. Again, we made reference, a lot of districts, that's sometimes things that they cut, but we still offer music at the elementary level weekly.
Well, we offer, I should go back real fast and say we have art once a week for 40 minutes at the elementary level. Music is twice a week for 30 minutes. They do a lot of different things with music in the schools, a lot of different instruments, learning how to play instruments, listening, dancing. I taught it at one point. It's a lot of fun. But when students get to the 5th grade, that's where they learn all their foundational things for music. When they get to 5th grade, students are given a choice to stay with the general music classroom, or they can go to band, or they can go to orchestra. And they do for about 3 weeks, they're doing an exploratory unit where they're learning about what the string instruments are, violin, viola, cello. What are the band instruments like trumpet, trombone? And then at the end of that time, they decide what they might like to do. The teachers have been watching them saying, you know, we think this child has this thing, this talent. And then for the rest of the year, they stay in those tracks. So for that school year, and then at the beginning of 6th grade, they get they typically stay with that group. And then in 7th, so once they make that decision, they're going on in that. Also, for something that we have that I don't see too many districts doing it at the elementary level, we have an elementary honors groups. We have an elementary honor band, orchestra, and chorus. These are teacher recommendations, by teacher recommendation, and they play a higher level of music. So it's for those kids who want to do a little bit more, show the talent, the ability, gives them another challenge in the school. And
again, they do their performances usually at Garfield Auditorium, right?
We have, and even in other places too, but that's where they like to do. And even our elementary honor chorus performed with the Hamilton Fairfield Symphony this past year at the I want to say the Wonders of Christmas, or whatever the program they did. And for the past few summers, with the advent of the Hamilton Days at the Reds game, our honors groups have actually gone down and sung the Star Spangled Banner to open the game. So what a wonderful opportunity for those kids.
Good
to
exposure, right? And how much fun.
Yeah,
fun. They enjoy that.
Yes.
And then also you talk about going to the Reds game, and again, working with the community. We usually have an elementary choir at the lighting ceremony, the tree lighting ceremony for the community.
We've been
around
doing
the courthouse.
That, exactly. We've been doing that for the past number of years. They've been doing that. They love doing that. We also have some of the students performing at the patriotic program on the 4th of July. That's the HAMS program. I might as well mention that while we're here. Okay. The HAMS program is the Hamilton Area Musical Summer. And they are a bunch of little hams.
Right.
Because these are students in I want to say they start in second grade. I'm not sure which grade level, second through sixth. But they spend several days through the summer learning how to sing, to dance, and then they put on a show. And it's a wonderful opportunity for those kids. And our teachers run it, our high school drama director, our high school choir director, and one of the elementary music teachers. And the high school kids go down and help them too.
Oh, right. Perfect.
So it's a wonderful opportunity. But they perform at the patriotic program. So our kids are out there. They're out there performing.
Well, and another thing we talk about is the dance team. You know, they're there, the part of the band, if you will. They're there at football games. They perform basketball like half times. They have their own competition. So let's talk a little bit about them.
Well, the dance teams, the numbers, we just recently, it's been about the last week.
And the tryouts.
Had the tryouts. 90 girls tried out. That's just 9th through 12th.
Right.
And we have 50 dance members. That includes varsity, junior varsity, and we have a football squad. Girls are just clamoring to be a part of that.
So again, that's a program that's growing in numbers as well.
Yeah, and it all starts at the middle school because at the middle school, both Wilson and Garfield have dance teams, and the girls just love it. They are very dedicated to it. It's very dedicated. Let me just say, they're very dedicated. And then they do the basketball games, all the parades, the football games, and then they do the competitions.
Their own competitions, right. And then another part, we talked about the auditorium being busy. You have the drama class and drama club, and they do 2 or 3 performances and musicals and as well. So let's talk about drama.
Our drama students are very involved too. They do around December they do a production, and then I think it's like in February. They do it. And then of course our big one is the musical in the spring.
Just finished Sound of Music.
Sound of Music was, thank you. It was I was so proud of our
I was waiting for the sing along, never got it, but that's okay.
Well, I don't know.
Next time maybe.
Maybe with the group.
But again, it was great.
It was, and the students, the teachers and the students just came together and did a great job that night. One of the unusual things, I won't say unusual, but one of the things we're proud of is this year, the pit orchestra of the musical, other than one of the piano players and the director, were all students.
Right.
We haven't had a student pit for quite a while, so that was exciting.
Neat. And again, looking at the audience of who's there, I mean, a lot of community members. Of course, you have your proud parents, grandparents, neighbors, or what have you, but a lot of community members come in to see that too. So again, it's getting the community into the schools to see the talents of our students.
Exactly.
Very
have
good.
People come you just love hearing about it. So
oh yeah, right. Okay, so we talk about elementary. Let's go secondary with the various choirs. You have like over 700 students in grades 7 through 12, which we call our secondary students in the choirs.
Yeah, both middle schools have their own choirs, and then the high school, we have 3 groups at the high school. Mixed chorus. We have an all-girls chorus this year. This is the first year. The girls love it because sometimes you'll have, you might have 50 girls in the classroom and 6 guys.
Right.
It makes it hard, but the girls love this type of thing. And then we have Rhapsody that meets. So, and that's one of our show choirs.
Right.
But part of the choral program are the show choirs, and this is another area that we've just seen blossom over the past few years. Cutting Edge is our newest show choir. Cutting Edge is for grades 7 through 9. That's by audition, just they have to sing, they have to dance.
Again, the Andersons, Mrs. Anderson's at Garfield, Mr. Anderson's at Wilson.
Husband and wife team,
So they bring together for Cutting Edge, which is perfect feeder to your Rhapsody in Blue.
Exactly, and but they're their own group. I mean, that's they do their own competitions, their own community performances, their tours. They perform at concerts, and those kids do a wonderful job. You see those 7th graders, and you go, I could never do that.
Right.
So
yeah, very confident, as we talked about earlier, some of the skills that they all have.
And they have to work together and have to show self-control.
Right.
And it's a lot of perseverance because they go from a summer camp where they're all looking at each other trying to figure out what's going on to competition level.
Right.
So that's great. And then we also have a girls show choir called Fascinating Rhythm.
All girls, again, grades 9 through 12.
9 through 12 on this group. So the girls can go back and forth on the Cutting Edge or Fascinating Rhythm, but at 9th grade, we just have a lot of girls that love being in this. Cutting Edge has, I think the last numbers I saw were around 50 students in Cutting Edge, which is a great number of kids. Fascinating Rhythm is about 39 girls, something of that sort, which is great. I mean, these are girls. Years ago, we didn't have a program like this, so these girls are part of that program. And their competitions too, and we usually try to do a girl type of theme for them. This year was boys.
Oh,
so
uh-huh.
let's just say that. It was
Okay.
about boys, but it's done very, very well. The girls love it. The girls have a great time. And then that's under the direction of Chrissy Fox. And Chrissy also directs Rhapsody in Blue. A lot of people have heard of and seen Rhapsody in Blue. We call them the ambassadors of Hamilton High School. These are some top-notch kids that do some incredible work during the year. Right now there's 55 students.
I was just going to say, even that has grown. It used to be there was maybe
Yeah.
24, maybe 30, but it looked like there was like 50, 60 on the stage.
Yeah, it's huge. And the kids are auditioning for it. I mean, we turn a lot of students away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We like to see
That's
everybody.
always tough with the tryouts.
Yeah, it's tough with tryouts, but it just bears evidence of how well the program is going, that students want to be part of that.
Yeah.
And they can still be in choir and stuff like that, so they still have that choral experience. But this past week, Rhapsody does so much in a year. During the summer, they are doing their camp. Then they do weekly rehearsals. They meet during the school day, and they still
So that
meet
is a
after
class during the day, right? Where the
Yeah.
other things,
after
choirs
school,
too as well, yeah.
But Rhapsody in Blue is what we call a co-curricular class,
Right.
much like orchestra and band, where they have responsibility. They have a class time, but they also have responsibilities after class and in the evenings, and that makes it extra special for those students. But Rhapsody also does a Christmas show and their competition show. These kids work crazy hours. We just finished a very big competition season. We went down to Nashville, performed at Belmont University. A lot of different things, and they did a great job with that. And then they came right off of competition season. A lot of those kids were involved with Sound of Music.
Right, and that was only 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks,
right?
and then they turned around and learned how to learn the entire show for dinner theater, which was like a historical perspective of show choirs.
Right.
So those kids are pretty
busy.
And these are your top kids. You got athletes, high academic kids, some of the top kids in the school.
Busy.
So, busy,
Yeah.
very busy.
Well, Lauren, since you mentioned Rhapsody in Blue, let's go ahead and watch some musical clips of Rhapsody in Blue, Hamilton High Show Choir.
When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. There's so much they hold, and just like them old stars, I see that you've come so far to be right where you are. How old is your soul? I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all my love. I'm still looking up. Cold is the water. It freezes your already cold mind. Already cold, cold mind. And death is at your doorstep, and it will steal your innocence, but will not steal your substance. But you are not alone in this. You are not alone.
Wow, I just love the vocal talents of our students. But let's talk now about orchestra, because you mentioned we've been doing orchestra for over 100 years now in our school district.
Yeah, we are very fortunate that we can trace it back 100 years. We have always had a school board, no matter what the situation financially is, and we've gone through some tough situations, as you know. The orchestra program has been a mainstay of our district. And in the past few years, we have seen a jump in the number of students. Currently, we have 450 students in the string program. We're looking at adding a second orchestra class next year. We are looking at something like 60-some orchestra students in 7th grade next year. So we're continually seeing these big numbers coming up, which is fantastic.
That's a good thing, but then it can also have problems because, you know, as you add classes, that's a scheduling nightmare for principals.
Yeah.
And of course, staffing, you know, the more students you have to staff. So it's good and bad, but I mean, it surely shows the enthusiasm, as you said, of the students that love that.
Well, and the students love it. They love being involved with all these programs. And then you have the parent issue that the parents are supporting them. So we've seen more parent support than we've ever had before. But it is a scheduling nightmare.
Right.
It is also a staffing nightmare at times. It's a good problem to have.
Right.
It's not. So when we are looking at programs, to see a program that has 450 students from 5th through 12th grade, that's pretty exciting to see an orchestra program growing like that.
Well, let's talk about string fusion and live wire, because this is something pretty neat and unusual, I'd say, for our district.
A few years ago, James Ledbetter came on the scene, and he came to me. He was an orchestra director at the high school level, and he had this idea, which I thought was crazy at first, and then he got me hooked on it, and we brought in actually a group called Barrage to sort of demonstrate what he was thinking. And this has probably had a bigger impact on the orchestra program than almost anything else we do. But live wire is the collision of orchestra with rock music.
Right. Again, grades 9 through 12.
9 through 12.
And we think we're the only one in Butler County that has such a...
That's especially this large, this thing. If you had asked me a few years ago, told me that I was going to have to hire a choreographer for orchestra, I would have told you you're crazy.
Right.
But as people will see in just a second, there's a video of one of their programs. But we mic each instrument. They're on wireless mics. We have the strings, students are walking around. They're all choreographed, big staging, lights. There's a rock feeling to it because we got a keyboard, we got a drum set, we've got a bass, we've got electric bass, we got electric guitar. All this stuff comes together. It is pretty remarkable.
It's not your typical orchestra where it's the first chair, second chair.
No.
Like you said, they're out and about moving, and it is, again, that's part of the performance. Not only they playing the music, but moving around like they typically do, like you said, choreographed.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful thing. And then once we got that off the ground, then we saw the need for it at the middle school level. And we started it's called String Fusion.
Right.
So these younger students had the opportunity to start as a feeder program going up. And I want to say there's 40-some kids in this program at the live wire. So it's very exciting to see this.
And again, I think another thing to mention, it's all after school, it's all voluntary. So again, it's not a class, but these kids love that so much that they're willing to stay after school and learn and work, and it's impressive.
Exactly. And they go to a summer camp. We have a lot of summer camps. People think the school's closed in the summer.
Oh, no.
Not in fine arts. We have activities all the time. They come to a summer camp, they learn some of the things, and then they come back. This is not something they do, like you said, during the school day. All this choreography and all these things happen after school. I think Tuesday nights is orchestra night in Hamilton. We have all these orchestra groups rehearsing. So it's quite exciting.
Well, let's go ahead and watch a clip of Live Wire, where orchestra meets rock music. Well, I just think that's so impressive because it's not your typical violin, boring violin, what have you. So let's talk about the band. Again, that's a
Okay.
growing program as well. You have about over 500 students. So let's talk a little bit about the band
Sure.
that we offer.
The band program, again, is another program that is just growing. We've had some down years, and it's on the swing. We have Paul Dixon as the band director, and he's got a great staff, and the kids love him. They're working hard. In fact, I was at a meeting today. We were talking about the show they're going to do next fall. That's how far ahead we are.
Right.
So the kids were being introduced to that. So
Well, you have to plan. I mean, you know, with the fine arts calendar, who's going where and what date, because that calendar gets pretty full.
sure, we're at least 6 months ahead.
Right.
Always looking ahead of
Right.
what's coming up, because we could have some major train wrecks with
Oh,
all
sure.
the programs
Right.
we have.
Oh, yeah.
But we are constantly planning programs, probably close to a year in advance. As soon as the marching band season was over, we started looking at it.
Right.
So, and then we narrow it down. So, even today, we had Rhapsody in Blue Dinner Theater last week. We're already talking about next year's show. So
Not only your programs and schedules, but you know, football games, basketball games,
yeah.
things like that, things for the community when the parades are. So yeah, your
Oh, yeah.
calendar gets full in a hurry.
And the going back to the band is probably the most visible of all our groups, because they are in 3 parades a year. They're in the Memorial Day Parade, the 4th of July, the Homecoming Parade,
Right.
and there might be another parade, but I'm not allowed to say what it is yet. But
Okay.
there may be
There may
another
be another
parade
one.
on.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned on the horizon. We've been
Right.
working with the city on this, so they're involved with that. And then you put them out there with the on the football games. At all the football games, they do their shows at the football games, and on top of that, the pep band. So the members of the band are very visible in the community. I'm very proud of them. They again, dedication of the students, the self-control, all those things come together, especially cooperation. Imagine all the kids doing something
Right.
different than
Going
man.
everywhere, right.
They have to have control, and they have to do that themselves.
And you talk about the football game, but what I also like is the band does their annual Bandorama, where they have schools,
Exactly.
bands from other schools to come and compete in the
Exactly.
fall.
This year, I think we had something like 13 bands from we've had them from Chicago and from Kentucky and all these. And it's a great way to highlight our city, because all those bands come straight down through the
Right.
center of town. They come
Right.
to
Schwarm Stadium.
Schwarm
Yeah.
Stadium, excuse me, and but they all, there's like, this is beautiful. They love our school, because Hamilton High School is just when they see some of these other schools, and then you come to Hamilton,
pretty impressive.
it's very impressive.
Right.
So it's a good way for us to be ambassadors to other people, because they come to Hamilton, they see what we have, they're excited about it.
Well, one band you can talk about is the jazz band. Again, they had a great opportunity a few months ago to actually perform with the Stan Kenton Alumni Band, and what a great honor that was for them. But they actually performed 4 or 5 numbers. Then the Stan Kenton Alumni Band came, and then they got to perform together at the end. And what a rush, I'm sure.
Oh, the kids absolutely loved it. Here they are with these professional musicians, guys that have been playing for 50-some years, and even I hate to say they were old, but they just played incredibly.
sure.
It was just a wonderful event for the kids, and really inspired the students too, especially getting up on stage and improvising with them and playing next to these guys. These are big name entertainers. So having that opportunity, and again, like you said, this is an after school program.
Right,
We
as I
don't
say,
do it
after school, volunteer.
After marching band season, every Tuesday and Thursday is jazz band, and that's under the direction of Pat Naylor, and he does a great job with those kids.
Very much so. Let's talk about the indoor drum line.
Well, a new program. We've had 2 new programs in the band program over the past few years. Going back, I'm going to say 6 or 7 years ago, we started this new group. It's the Indoor Marching Percussion Ensemble, the drum line.
Okay.
Indoor
Easier
drum
to say, right?
Indoor drum line.
Right.
This group, the easiest way to describe, and I think we'll have a clip here in a minute, but the easiest way to describe it is a marching band without all the other instruments, just the percussion instruments, and they perform on a gym floor. So it's a winter event for the students to do.
Again, it's choreographed,
yeah.
right?
They have the show figured out. They come up with these things. The kids do an incredible job with this.
Competitions as well.
A lot of competitions, and I was not aware of some of these things until Bob Sauber is the director of this, and they said, we'd like to start this program up. Well, there's a lot of groups like this, but for Hamilton, it was a way for our kids to be involved at a whole new level of playing in this type of group. So
They did quite well in
They
competitions
They
this
did
year.
well in competitions.
Right.
So it's they are constantly improving themselves. But that's another exciting thing for the band program. The kids
good.
love being in it.
While we're talking about the indoor drum line, let's go ahead and watch a video clip of the indoor drum line. And again, congratulations to the indoor drum line on their competitions and their winnings. You made reference that there's another relatively new program that we have.
Exactly, and we're
Winter
excited.
Guard.
Another group, I mean, it's just, there's so many neat things going on in fine arts in the Hamilton schools, and we're excited about that. But our last one is called Winter Guard. Winter Guard, we just completed our second year with that, and other districts have had it for a longer time. But Winter Guard, it's comprised of the girls, well, guys and girls, who are on the flag corps during marching band season. They have the flags and the rifles and the different objects they have out there. They add more aesthetics to the band program. They needed something to do during the winter, so they've choreographed their own show to music, and they perform that on a gym floor also. So, and they go to competitions too. And
right.
like I said, this is our second year, and they've really done a great job. Kathy Dance, one of our teachers and the staff members in the district have directed that group. So we're excited about what they've been able to do.
I think what's neat too is as you look at these students at Rhapsody in Blue or a drama production or whatever, a lot of the students are in 2 or 3 different things. So they're not just in band. They could be in band, but they could also be in Rhapsody or what have you, orchestra. So you see sometimes the same faces.
Exactly.
Different
and
places.
we have to coordinate pretty
Right.
quickly, and the directors have to work together on that, and we do. I know that right now there's at least 2 or 3 students in band that are also in Rhapsody, and there's in band and orchestra or orchestra and Rhapsody. So it takes some
And then if they play, athletics or what have you, that's another, you have to sort of coordinate that as well.
Yeah.
But we mentioned the Winter Guard, and that's
Yeah.
relatively new. But let's go ahead and watch a little bit of their clip
Sure.
of their competition
Sure.
if we can. And again, all of these programs that we offer could not be done without our strong fine arts staff that you hire.
Exactly. We over the past few years, I've been able to hire a lot of people, but it's not just me. But the people that are there are very dedicated to these kids and to these programs. They're hard workers. Most of them, it's not a 9-to-5 job or 7:30 to 2:30 job.
Right.
These people, I can tell you that in the choral program, some of those people are there at 7:30 in the morning. They don't get home sometimes till 10 o'clock at night or even later. So they're very dedicated staff who've put in a tremendous amount of hours for our kids, and they're not being paid huge amounts of money.
Right.
They're there for the kids.
Well, and
that's
the
what I'm
proof,
proud.
again, the numbers are growing or increasing, so that has to say lots about your staff, I would think.
I think so.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for coming and sharing about what all we have to offer, and sharing a little bit of what our musical and talent of our students, and talk about the community. I know you wanted to give a shout out to TV Hamilton
Yes.
itself.
TV Hamilton, and I'm hoping they won't cut this, but TV Hamilton is a wonderful vehicle for us to show off our community, and part of that is the arts. They have been dedicated to. As an example, we have a huge band and orchestra festival every
Citywide,
spring, citywide. We're in the gym. It's all the kids are involved. So on the gym floor, we have 450, 550 kids. It's packed, and those students look forward to seeing themselves on TV Hamilton because TV Hamilton sets up and the kids get a wave and all that
sure.
stuff. And several times during the year we get to do those type of things. So, and that's a good outreach for the community to see that schools, see the kids in the schools, because let's face it, sometimes schools get bad raps and students get bad raps, and to see the students in a positive life. And that's why I very much appreciate about TV Hamilton doing those type of things for our community and for our students. They
Again,
love it.
we
They
invite
love it.
the community to come in, but if you can't be there, tune to TV Hamilton because
There
they
it
show
is.
a lot of our fine arts,
Exactly,
our
exactly.
fine arts offerings. So
Exactly.
that's probably a good way to end.
I
So we
think
thank
so.
you for coming in
Thank you,
today
Jenny.
again to share that. And for TV Hamilton, I'm Joni Kobus, and we'll see you next time on School Matters because School Matters.